Hey folks, Robert here with Crush Marine Products and Survivor High Speed Water Pickup System. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the proper handling inside a fish and how we go about handling those fish prior to putting them into the live well itself. Um, and then a little bit, we want to talk a little bit about stress. What really happens to those fish before we put them into the live well, and we'll talk a little bit about stress. But first, I want to talk to you about handling the fish and how to properly handle those fish. Now, we have to think about it in a couple different ways. One, when we handle those fish. Uh, Fish aren't used to us with all the bacteria that we have on our hands. Humans, we have all kinds of bacteria on our hands that the fish just aren't used to, and it's not a natural setting for them. So when we handle them, we need to understand that we're putting a bacteria onto them that's not natural. So how do we do it properly? Well, honestly, we do the best we can, right? Morals, ethics, values. Let's handle them with care, very gently. Let's try not to keep them pinned to the floor or let them fall to the ground or keep them in the sand or in the mud or in the dirt. It's not a natural setting for them. So one of the things that we can do is try to handle those fish as gently as possible. Let's try not to put our hands in their mouth and especially in the gill plates as much as we can. We need to cradle the fish. If you're going to pose with the fish for a photograph, say, um, we need to support their belly. We need to support because they have a very small back. The backbone in the fish, exoskeletal, there's really not much to it. So we need to support the weight of the fish as much as we possibly can for a photo. And then let's go ahead and release it back into the water gently. We try not to throw fish back into the water. I mean, it just kind of comes down to really down to ethics. And instead of just tossing it back in, why don't we just go ahead and release it back in? Let's give it a nice entryway back into the water instead of just flipping it in there. Um, I don't want to sound all like you know we're everything and you're doing everything wrong, because that's certainly not the case at all. We're just here to kind of talk about this stuff, educate a little bit as much as we can, and we know people really like to listen to the right message. So it's really what we're trying to do on this short video here is just kind of remind us all maybe to just let's really be mindful of the fish in the way that we handle our fish, and let's be true to who we are, and practice really good release techniques and stuff like that. It's for the future. So if we can do that, kudos to us. Um, and I think all you folks out there, we know that you folks care a lot about these fish. So so this was just an informative thing to just kind of say, hey, let's kind of remind ourselves, whether we're in a tournament situation or maybe we're just fun fishing for a great meal to eat. If we're going to handle these fish, let's handle them with care and dignity and respect that they deserve as well. So from all of us here at Crusher Marine Products, thank you so much for listening. Till then, fish on.